What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Pinterest and SEO Marketing Club. Welcome to the Pinterest and SEO Marketing Facebook group as well. It's a pleasure to have you here today. We're going to be having a recorded session. I know I'm already live on the Facebook group. Yes, I'm already live in the Facebook group, and I'm also here on Clubhouse. And it's good to see you guys. Good to see you here, Zakia. It's good to see you here, Donna. I appreciate you all for being here. As we're going to keep growing the room, we're going to be here for a couple of minutes, and it's going to be exciting. This is the third time this is happening, and I'm so nervous to know why. Adetola, what I realize is when I start a club now or start a room, somebody from anyone that comes into the room just ends up on stage. But, there's really no problem about that, but I just don't know how the algorithm does it now. But it's good to see you here. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Thank you. You can move me back to the audience. I think it's because we follow each other. I'm probably the first person that you follow that came up on the stage. That's what I've been hearing. But I'm
really?
Okay, you move me back to the audience.
No, you're totally fine here if that's okay with you. It's fine. There's no pressure at all.
Oh, okay. I might not be able to talk too much because I just came back from the dentist.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Hope you have a quick recovery.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You guys are all welcome here to the Pinterest and SEO Marketing Club. We are also in the Facebook group as well. And we have been live almost every day of the week. And today is Monday, so it is going to be a very exciting time to be here and just connect with you guys as we take you on a quick journey on how to use Pinterest marketing as a blogger. So blogging is something that a lot of people do. Guest blogging, some people have featured blogs, some people have, highlighted blogs. They write articles on LinkedIn. They have their own website. So there's so many things that people do online, and sometimes it takes a while to really understand who's my audience, what's my target market going to say, what are they going to do with my information, and sometimes it takes a while to understand that. So today I want to break it down for you in something that's very quick, simple, and strategic, because I've noticed one thing here on Clubhouse is that the information we give, all the amazing information that we give is available for you, but it's only beneficial to you if you are actually applying it in your business and applying it actually in the real sense, because we understand that this is a long-term game. But some people don't understand that this long-term game requires consistency, requires commitment, it requires quality, and it requires patience of all things. So I want to give you a rundown on how you can use Pinterest marketing as a blogger so that you can learn how to use it for yourself. And then if you stick till the end, there's something I'm going to let you know about, because by this time tomorrow, things are going to be changing. So actually by September 1st, which is Wednesday, it's going to be changing. So just make sure you stay till the end. And if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. The floor is open. The floor is open. There's no I'm just here. If you guys want to join me on stage, that's great. Please do. And I'll be able to answer your questions, and you can stay with me till the top of the hour. So this is going to be a very quick room. I should have started this at the top of the hour, but I had a meeting that spilled over, and I was like, you know what? Sometimes when you think about content, I don't want to overwhelm people with content, because if you're in the Facebook group, you can binge watch literally all the episodes that have been running on this club ever since I came here and built the club and also built the extension on the Facebook group. So all the things I've been talking about can help you move, scale. But now it's getting to a point where I really want to be intentional on my time and respectful to you as well with your time and how we can be able to put this together. So this is feel free, to come and ask your question. Feel free to answer, disrupt me, because this is information that I know a lot of people can take in and take out, because I've seen how things work. And it's just a matter of observing things and noticing the patterns. And I want to show you how those patterns are solved and how we can be able to build consistent quality together. So this room may not be too long, and 5 minutes to the top of the hour, I'm going to close off the hand raising. So feel free to raise your hand. I'm going to give you guys one tip probably 2, a bonus, but it's not going to be more than 2 today, so that you can take this, run with it, and we can be able to come back and talk about it later. So before I do that, I want to acknowledge Zakia and Tenji Colin for joining and being here today. I'll start off with ladies first with Zakia. How are you? It's great to have you here.
Hi, thank you for inviting me up to the stage. I do have, my name is Zakia. Thank you again. And I was on another Clubhouse earlier, and you were on a YouTube conversation, and I saw that you had this scheduled for this evening, so I had subscribed to make sure I got notified. And I currently use YouTube, Twitter, and I'm just wondering, what would you say is the key distinction between Pinterest versus Instagram? Because I kind of got lost in that social media shuffle in terms of they both seem to be image sharing platforms, but they have grown drastically. So why would a blogger particularly spend their efforts on Pinterest over over Instagram, or is it an and not an or conversation?
Thank you so much for joining, and that's a great way to start this room conversation. I love this question because it makes so much value to you as the writer when 3, 4, 5 years down the line, people are still reading your blog because it had an evergreen asset to it. You know, we think about blog writing, that shows us, oh, we're going to write the hottest topic today. What is happening? Who did this? Who did that? Those are great. But when you look at a 365 cycle and you realize that most of the content that you have could be repurposed or could be diversified into other forms of media, that can really help you to drive referral traffic back to your site or back to your source. And the major difference between Instagram and Pinterest is this. Pinterest is not a social network platform. It's not a social media extension. It is simply a visual search engine. Just like you can't say Google is a social media platform. It doesn't sound right. That's the same thing with Pinterest. So Pinterest gives you 100, and they tell you this, they give you 100% credit for the things that you post, that you save, that you try, and that you create. And as you create, I'm talking about like a shop, if you have a product or service. So that 100% credit they give you is amounted to 33% referral traffic to your source. So let's say you have an email list, right, of 1 million people. Let's say you have 1 million subscribers, and you're sending an email to the subscribers, and it has a tagline, it has a headline title, and in there has a call to action. And you want the people that click on this email to click through the email to the destination link, right? What you've just done is you've created a referral link. Anytime you hyperlink your text on an email, that hyperlink is something that people are going to click on because you've given them a preview. And this is the catch, a preview of what they are going to expect. So if you tell them, here's an ebook to learn how to do this and that, they know it's an ebook, they haven't gotten it yet, but they know what it's about. But as soon as they click on it, that's a referral link. And if you have your email connected to like a server where you can be able to track and see how it goes, who clicks on it, why they click, and where they go to, how they bounce off, there are some things you can tell. And one thing you'll know is that this email that you sent out to people is a referral link that they're going to be able to click on. Now, take that same story, right, and have a little plot twist whereby you have 1 million monthly viewers on Pinterest who are not on your email list, but because you have content that is related to what they're searching, you're going to be able to drive more conversions than you would with an Instagram or Facebook post, because the traffic you're getting on Pinterest is guided by search. On Instagram, nobody really searches for cooking recipes or, referral traffic based platforms or things like that, or affiliate marketing tips. No one really searches on Instagram like that, but they do that on Pinterest. Because here's the thing, and I hope this will also help as well. When you post content on Pinterest, it lasts forever. I mean forever. Like if you post a story, they call it idea pins now, it's going to last over the 24 hours that you would have posted that same piece of content on Instagram. Because on Pinterest, they are valuing boards, they are valuing content, because this feed that you're giving to someone is looking for something close to what you just said. And because Pinterest is going to index your file, which means it's going to index your file name, index your image. If you had a caption in there, what color was it? Was it a long post? Was there 5 words, 6 words? Was your title corresponding with your image caption? Those things are going to matter, because it's like putting something on your vision board and waiting for it to happen because you're working towards it. That's the same thing with Pinterest. You want to put something that someone can see, that when they ever come to your platform, you're solving a problem one way or the other. Because if you're not posting for yourself, then it's good, because you're posting for someone. You're posting for something. You're posting for some experience. And that experience is highly based on how you present yourself on Pinterest. Now, I'll leave you with this one thing. If you look at Instagram, right? If you scroll on your Instagram right now, either on your story or on your feed, you're always going to get an ad. After maybe 3, 4, 5 posts, you're going to get another ad. Just count 1, 2, 3, you'll see another ad. 1, 2, 3, 4, you'll see another ad. Those ads are based on interest, right? On Pinterest, I'm never going to see an ad that I didn't search for. That's really what it is, because you can literally focus on a specific audience and drive traffic to that audience, because you're driving words, sounds, emotions, and community-based ideas that Pinterest is going to pick up and suggest to their most relevant source, because you were able to show up and give them the most relevant information at that time. So that's really what's going to help make a difference, because on Instagram, the half-life is 19 hours. And you can't really click on an Instagram picture unless you click the link in bio. And platforms like Later, Affy, you can be able to have a link in bio, but you still have to click somewhere to get somewhere. But on Pinterest, you can take that one image. Instead of having a 2-step theory, you have a 1-step theory. Now, instead of telling them to click on the link in your bio, the image is the link in the bio, because now they can click on that link and it directs them or redirects them as referral traffic to that website or to that destination link that you sent them to. So it's very beneficial for you to have content on Pinterest, because it lasts longer than Instagram. Instagram is 19 hours, half-life, and Pinterest is 3.5 months. So it really beats the competition hands down. And if you do have an Instagram account, you can claim your Instagram account, so you can actually claim your traffic from Instagram, which is an added source to your Pinterest strategy. So I know that was a little long, but I hope that was able to give you some structure and at least an idea.
Absolutely. And now I'm going to go search for your Facebook group so I can binge watch the remainder of what you have shared. Thank you for that.
You're welcome, anytime. And to just make it easier for you, how you can get there, when you click the link in my Instagram bio or Twitter, you're going to get a list of options. I'm going to be talking about one of them today, but if you scroll down, you will see the Pinterest and SEO marketing Facebook group option. It's going to have a red and white background. It's like a red box with Pinterest marketing. When you see it, you can be able to sign in, and then I'll accept you in, and you'll see all the videos we've done in the recent past. So it will be great to have you there, Zakia. Thank you once again for asking that question. I appreciate that. 10G Colin, it's good to see you here. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me so much. And Zakiya, I came in the YouTube room earlier, and just always wanted to figure out Pinterest, because I actually have a page, but I had someone just help me just post some things up there. But I want to be intentional in what I'm doing. I'm not able to kind of get anything out of it right now. Like, it shows like I have, because I've really been new in a sense to, social media. Well, not new in the sense of like putting out content. I've been behind the scenes for a lot of years, but just being able to try to start building my brand. I've been just like 6-7 months into it now. with posting on Instagram and TikTok and doing different things, but I really want to get focused on Pinterest and YouTube because, like you say, playing a long-term game on it and just, I have a lot of content, but I wanted to find out what would be the best, what's more like people attracted to is photos, videos, or articles on Pinterest.
Thank you so much for asking this question too. I would definitely say that when you're using Pinterest, you're thinking about the success of your business from a future value perspective. Because like I was mentioning in the YouTube room earlier today, YouTube is one of those platforms that tells you where you're getting traffic from. It will tell you your email, your Linktree, your Pinterest, your LinkedIn. It's going to give you those options. But if Pinterest is one of those options, you're doing very well because you're building a click-through rate across the platforms that are independent of their, like they're literally independent on their own, but you're bridging the gap by incorporating YouTube keyword testing and keyword finding and also attaching that to your Pinterest. And I love the fact that Pinterest Business, they allow you to claim your YouTube account, they allow you to claim your Etsy account, they allow you to claim your Instagram account. And if you have a Shopify store, that's even big for you because you can actually automatically connect your catalog and you get a verified blue check, which is called a verified merchant, because you've gone through all the community guidelines. So if you're on Pinterest, Colin, and you want to create traffic, you want to create referral traffic, let's say your website has a pop-up email workflow, that's going to be organic traffic for you, like 10 times that you would ever pay for an ad to drive that same traffic there. Because chances are people that look at ads, they need those touch points like we all talked about. You need the 7 touch points, 12 touch points. Those are great. But if somebody's touching a website or clicking on a website and the first touch point that they see is a solution to their problem, you've won them over this 7 touch points that you have to convince them because you were not really, you were looking for them. They were not looking for you. Now it's a reverse now. They're looking for you because you potentially have the answer to their problem or to their question. So if you're building content, the results that you get on Google are very similar to the results that you get on Pinterest. So if you have, let's say, a picture or a video or a carousel, one great thing that you can do as a best practice on Pinterest is to use all media formats. Because when you start focusing on video, photos, and I would take idea pins as an example. If you have, let's say, a story that you want to tell in 5 points, right? On Instagram, you can use a carousel or use an Instagram guide, which is great. But after a week or two, nobody really sees that unless it's in your highlights or you've repurposed it on a blog or something of the sort. Maybe you have alt text in there and that's building some traffic. But on Pinterest, as long as you have posted content for the internet to find you because you actually answered a search query, then Google is going to suggest your feed, Pinterest is going to suggest your feed, and YouTube is going to suggest your feed. Now let me connect all these three and show you how this actually works for you. Google is going to connect to a website. A website could be Pinterest.com. It could be yourwebsite.com. On YouTube, you could get search results on Google because maybe your video on YouTube has some timestamps and you can start your timestamp from 0000. And when you start your timestamp and you start creating value after every point, and let's say you have a YouTube video that, let's say this video is going to start at 30 seconds, this video is going to start at 57 seconds. When you start using those time cues and those markers, it's going to help tremendously in the person's click-through rate, because you don't want someone to watch a 30-minute video and the answer was in the 10th minute and they didn't know. So if you can be able to help the process become a little more easier for the person to navigate and find you, the better. Because what does that do? It literally gives them a fast track on what you're doing with your business, how you've been able to solve their problem, and then there's a call to action after that. Usually on Instagram, people will say, oh yeah, click the link in my bio, or swipe to the last slide to see what I've written there so you can know what to do. Now take that same practice and then take it to Pinterest. Here's where it changes completely. Because you're building a brand, because you're building a standard, and because you're building a communication development strategy that's going to help your listeners, either cold audience, warm audience, and help them understand your brand messaging, the picture that you upload is also going to be counted as a scanned image or a scanned data. Like on Instagram, you can't scan that picture. Like you can never scan an Instagram picture. But there's something called Pinterest Lens. So a Pinterest lens, just like Google Lens, allows you to focus on structure and say, okay, I have this 5 points and they're in this specific color. Now, if I put up a blog next week and it has the same theme or it has the same pattern and it just has different text, years will go down, months will go down the line, and you will realize that if somebody scans that image, it's going to get related pictures or related images just like the one they scanned. And if you're the result of that scan, that is another click through. That's another click possibility for you. And over time, Pinterest will understand that you're the authority, you're the leader in that conversation. And because you're showing up and people are reacting based on impressions, clicks, saves, those things are able to help you really scale forward. So when you look at it from the perspective of how can I get on Pinterest and dominate or complement what I'm already doing successfully, the answer is this. On Pinterest, you're literally creating a catalog of content that's going to help someone find you as a resource because you have different media types that are solving the problem in an edutainment format. Now, Pinterest is a very inspirational platform. So you don't want to go there and bore them with information. You actually want to go and inspire them with information. And how you do that is by creating quality content that has images. Even the audio has to be sharp. If you're using lossless audio, things that are really good to give somebody a very good experience. That's why even on Clubhouse with the new update, they're actually adding spatial audio because you want to build an experience. So if you do the same thing on Pinterest, and then let's say you have someone narrating that script or you have somebody talking about that particular thing, the captions, which means the words that you say, are also going to be indexed. On YouTube, it's the same thing. That's why I was saying also in the YouTube room earlier that the reason why most of the people that use or YouTube subscribers or videos, why they mostly say or start with the juiciest part of their information from the beginning for the first 5-10 seconds is because they want you to stay connected. They want you to actually stay connected to that information, but they don't want you to leave real quick. So whatever they've done scientifically or technically, to me, those words that they said is what kept you watching the video. And those are the same words that the index or the AI or the algorithm is also going to index into their system and understand that this is exactly what this person is talking about. Now, just to stretch it a little bit so that I can land and really see, if I was able to help you today, is when you notice that the thumbnails on your YouTube are corresponding with the thumbnails on Pinterest. Now, Pinterest and YouTube are different when it comes to image size and guidelines because YouTube is more it's more landscape and it's more like vertical video. So it's horizontal versus vertical. So on YouTube, you can have a thumbnail that talks about a certain topic, and that image caption is where you can also have your hashtag connected, right? And then you've claimed your Pinterest business account. And once you've claimed your Pinterest business account with a YouTube video or with a YouTube channel, that video that you upload on YouTube, you can repurpose that same YouTube video onto Pinterest. And when you have a different canvas for Pinterest and you send them right back into YouTube, you're building like a cycle. You're building something that's very dynamic, because as soon as they click on that image, they're going to enter YouTube, but they're not going to leave Pinterest, because you can watch YouTube videos from Pinterest. So that referral traffic I talked about, you get 100% of that in credit, because what you've done is that you've added more eyeballs to those platforms. And then over time, how you know that it's working for you is when you go back to your YouTube dashboard and you look at that same place I mentioned earlier, talking about suggested videos or related videos, or if you go to the reach and it shows you where you're getting your reach from, Pinterest is going to be a platform that you will see there as a result. So it's really good for you to use Pinterest as a way to drive traffic, because it sticks. And not only does it stick, it helps the person to actually stay connected to you, because they know that your content is not going anywhere. And ultimately that allows people to connect with you and actually reach out to you by clicking on your email list or just subscribing. So that's really a good place that you can be able to drive referral traffic and build a lot of awareness. Now, one more thing I will add on to this is the ads section. Colin, let me ask you this. When it comes to like your content delivery and branding, when you apply advertising to it, do you advertise majorly on Facebook, Instagram, or that is not part of the strategy? Because I want to show you how Pinterest can really boost your advertising plan.
No, I haven't used advertising as a strategy. I've just been going with organic growth, but I know to scale and grow faster, I think I'm interested now in adding some advertising to it, to kind of scale it up a little quicker, because I'm getting the impressions and I know how to make content and I'm using them. I'm trying to direct everything to a certain website, and that's why I've been on TikTok, Instagram, just using everything. And I know Pinterest is one of the main, SEO searches what people are going to. So I wanted to really get familiar with this, because I've had a page, but it was just somebody that just basically put up all the content on there, but it's not in a proper order where it's getting any, attraction. So I want to be able to do it right myself.
Okay. I would definitely love to, see what you've been working on, and then also help you see how you can actually potentially take it to the next level. Because on Pinterest, and I'll also give Chioma as well, because I know she's very huge on Pinterest, and I'd love to hear what she says about this. When you create content on Pinterest, it's considered as a rich pin. Now, what is a rich pin? A rich pin, they call it a rich pin because it actually has commercial value. Now, this commercial value could come from a recipe. You could have a recipe pin. You could also have, an app. If you have an app, or let's say there's an app you're driving traffic through, that app has domain authority because it's on Google Play or it's on Apple Play, Apple Store, in the Apple Store or Google Play. So because those are highly efficient platforms, they already have domain authority, which means that there's commercial value there. Now, take that same information and then translate that to what you're doing as a business. And then let's say you have a YouTube video embedded in that blog, or a Spotify, podcast embedded in that blog, or something related to music. Those things that are being embedded are essentially becoming backlinks that is going to create authority over time when someone's looking for that specific content. That's why, for example, if you're looking for a celebrity's name podcast, whoever's actually interviewed that celebrity is going to have the word podcast next to it, or have that celebrity's name next to it, because there was a podcast that was featured as metadata for the internet to transcribe that. So you can use this platform extensively, just because when you're creating content on Pinterest, you're creating content for the person who is going to be inspired to make the next move. Now, here's one great thing you can be able to do with this as an advertising. there's a way you can find keywords using the Pinterest Ads Manager. And when you use the Pinterest Ads Manager, most times they love it when you use long tail keywords, like how to tie a tie, for example. Those keywords are going to have related keywords next to them. But if you become the person that actually shows someone how to tie a tie and not in a boring way, and you're using colors, you're using images, you're using some really good aesthetics to build that interest, you're pretty much enhancing that text because it's no longer a script. It's now an experience. So when you're giving people that experience, eventually people are going to lean towards you, because the moment they click on your pin, and this is different from Instagram, the moment they click on your pin, right, and stay there for some time, let's say they click through to the website you want them to go to, now your Google Search Console or your Google Analytics is going to pick that up, and it's going to tell you that you're getting social network traffic. But that social network traffic that is coming from Pinterest or YouTube is just because there's a visual search engine optimization next to it. So if somebody is running $5 a day on Facebook and you're running $1 a day on Pinterest, I can guarantee you 100% that if it's the same objective, the campaign objective is the same, the one that is spending $1 on Pinterest is going to do way better than the person spending $1 on Instagram. This is why, or $5 on Instagram or Facebook, because you're limited to the audiences that you create. But on Pinterest, it's an open source. So anybody, those 3.5 billion people searching on Google could potentially find your content relevant because you had a website that was claimed on Pinterest. That's really how you can leverage. So you can spend $1 or $2, and sometimes this is a best practice. If you've never tried this, try this. And don't do this with Instagram or Facebook. But take an image, take a video, and take a carousel, and then put $1 a day on each of them. So that's $3. So in 30 days, you've typically spent about $90 or close to $100, depending on your budget optimization. And then see the results from each of those ads. And if you have a Pinterest tag manager connected, it's going to help you tremendously. And this is really where you can start to see attraction, because Pinterest focuses on two things. You are either finding new customers or you're retargeting those customers. And guys, if you didn't know this, I know Facebook pixels are great and people talk about ads, but they just released something. I got to know about this in one of the other rooms in the exclusive networking club. Shout out to Marciano. I got to hear this in one of the rooms, and we got to know that Facebook Pixel is going to go away. I think it's going to be by next year. So I asked the question, I was like, okay, so if Facebook Pixel is going to go away, and I think Google has something like a Pixel or something going away in 2023, the only standing pixel or tag manager that is efficient and sustainable to the content that you've been producing is Pinterest. And this is why. If you run an ad on Facebook or Instagram, you're only driving traffic to that specific platform or that specific landing page, right? But that one image that you're running ads on is the only platform or the only post that is gaining that attraction. That's why when you can scroll on someone's Instagram feed and you see average is 500 views and then another one is 15,000 views, chances are that one was probably posted or boosted or put in a campaign rather than the one prior. But on Pinterest, when you do that with one platform and you send one ad, that one ad is going to drive traffic to the rest of your board, because people pin things onto the board. So if you have a digital marketing board and you have a free guide to download on your website, they're going to click on it on your website and they'll still be on Pinterest while they're on your website, just like they would with YouTube. But here's the thing, once they subscribe, once they pay for everything, they leave that page and come right back into Pinterest, and then they leave the app because they've been satisfied, they got what they wanted. They're going to come back to Pinterest the following day or maybe hours after, and whatever was in your board that had value, commercial value or navigational value, is going to be seen on the timeline. You don't see that on Instagram. If I've seen your ad, that's the only ad I'm seeing. I'm not going to see any other post you posted 48 weeks ago. But on Pinterest, all the things that you post there are valid, both organic and paid. So your paid strategy is going to boost the rest of your algorithm, which is ultimately going to enhance your business as an owner. And that's going to change everything completely. So I hope that was able to give you some milestone critical thinking on how you can be able to get that done. And it would be great to hear from you and then get to Chioma to hear what she has to add on to.
I'm not going to hold up. This was, you know how everybody will say this is a mini master class or anything. This is really a master class. And I've been on here for 6 months. This was a broken down, strategic, point-by-point master class. And I appreciate that. I signed up for your club, and, I'm definitely going to be on board with you with this, because I'm hearing how much Pinterest is the new, not the new wave what it's been, but it's going to overtake Facebook with as far as putting things out there in advertising as well. So I'm definitely in. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much for being here, Colin. I appreciate you. Chioma, thank you so much for joining today. I know you have something to say, so I'm going to leave the floor to you so that you can be able to, let us know what your thoughts are on the topic. And if anybody's also in the audience, please raise your hand and let us know, because I said I was going to be closing the room, but it's getting a little interesting, and I love this conversation. So we'll make sure we're going to be here till maybe around 7:30. I'm going to, push it up a little bit. But if you have any question, please raise your hand. But in about 10 minutes, we're going to close off the hand raise. Actually, 11 minutes. So please make sure you do so you can be part of this conversation. So next to you, next up is Chioma. Sorry. And I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Please let us know what you have.
Thank you so much, Favor. And thank you for bringing me up to the stage. Everything you said was yes, yes, yes. I mean, I kept tapping my mic because that was a lot. It really was a masterclass, a crash course. So yeah, you said a lot of things, but a few of the things that you said, one of the things that you said that really struck me was when you mentioned that Pinterest is a place to inspire people with your content, right? So I've hosted, in the last week, I think I've been in 10 to 12 rooms speaking on Clubhouse, speaking on, Pinterest marketing and how you can inspire people, right? So the fact that, you mentioned inspiring people with your content, it kind of brings a different and a new approach to how you can use Pinterest for business. So Pinterest really is a place where people go to find inspiration, right? If you look back to, what Pinterest was in the beginning, around the 2009, 2010, when it was just picking up, people were so passionate about how they can, how they can get inspiration, how they can, make their lives more organized and lots of these things. And Pinterest has grown so much to be a place where people go to make buyer decisions, right? So even if you're posting ads, so you really came up with something that's really, profound. When you spoke about ads, you really did a lot, speaking about ads. So Pinterest ads, you mentioned about, testing the $1 ad on Pinterest and the $5 ad on Instagram. So I have a client right now. We're doing an ad campaign, right? She's a business coach. She has a webinar coming up in 2 weeks. We've been doing ads for a month now. I can tell you for free, the results has been crazy, tremendous, right? And we're doing $15 a day. She's run ads on Instagram, Facebook, where she's got over $150 a day, and it doesn't compare to what we're getting using Pinterest. So there really is a strategy to using Pinterest ads for business, right? But I can tell you that if you are a business that comes off as a person that wants to inspire people, a person that wants to take people genuinely from one place to another, help them better their lives with your service, with your business, with your products, people would love to see what you have. People would definitely love to see what you have. So Pinterest is one of the platforms where, it is recorded that 90% of people who see ads on Pinterest actually click to your ads and actually take action, compared to other platforms where they see ads and they just scroll away, right? It's because of the way that, people view Pinterest, right? It's a place where, like I've always said, it's a place where they want to connect with you because they feel that you have similar stories. Okay, and that's where targeting and keywords come to play. So because I've been running ads for this client of mine, she's a business coach. She, takes people through the stages of creating a signature coaching program. Every time I'm on Pinterest, I'm seeing ads about creating a signature coaching program. They're really targeting me, right? And these things are brilliant because I go over to their links, and then you see, very brilliant strategy all laid out. And one thing, right, you do not need to do any sort of aggressive marketing when it comes to Pinterest. Subtle really does it, right? So if you're not the type of person that likes to be everywhere at the same time, you don't want to show your face all the time, I'll say that Pinterest is a place for, the introverts, a great place for the extroverts, because it means that right now you're bringing in something that a lot of people are not used to on Pinterest, and now they're excited, like, oh my God, she's showing up a lot. I think this is exciting, right? But if you're not the type of person that would like to, show up on Instagram 5 times every day, get burnt out and all of that, Pinterest is more of an evergreen platform where, like Favor mentioned, you should look at Pinterest from a futuristic view where you start today and you know that you're building a platform and a business that's going to continue to show up in search 5-10 years from now. When you show up in search 3 months from now, right? So Pinterest really builds you up in a way that no other platform does. Okay, so there's pretty much a warm audience on Pinterest waiting for you, especially right now. We're in the peak season. This is the peak season for Pinterest because people are making decisions about how to plan the holidays, what to buy. When it comes to Pinterest, right, people buy. People are interested in buying, right? And then the demography on Pinterest as well. So there's the top tier people in the US, people in the UK, right, are more dominant on Pinterest, right? Meaning that these people are the ones that make the top buying decisions, right? The households, with people, who earn a high, amount of money. This is statistics, it's data, right? So that's why when it comes to purchasing stuff, Pinterest is a great place to, take your products, your service, your offers, because they're not looking to get to follow your story. They're looking for a solution, right, that you can obviously provide through just one blog post that you have on your website, or one YouTube video, or one sign-up freebie that you're giving. Once they've seen it, once it has answered their question correctly, they go on and take action. They're not looking to follow you on Instagram and see that, you're creating value 5 times every day before they decide, that they want to join your email list, or before they decide that they want to click to anything that you have, right? Right now, she has over 200, nearing 223 sign-ups to the webinar that's coming up in 2 weeks. It's been amazing, right? So she's pretty surprised, but it's something that, was always going to happen. So a strategy is important. Start to look to Pinterest. That's what I would say, because I see a lot of people ask the question of, is Pinterest going to work for my business? Is Pinterest going to work for my niche? So there's over 420 million people on Pinterest today, 420 million. Last year it was 300 and something million people, meaning that the platform is growing. Pinterest is changing. It is understanding, the behaviors of people that are joining right now, and it is acting accordingly, right? Meaning that there's more opportunities for you as a business to get on the platform and take your pie, take your share of what's going on there, right? To inspire people with your business. There's no business owner out there, especially coaches and service providers, and even people who sell products, because Shopify in 2019 recorded that Pinterest had over 60% of the traffic driver to the entire Shopify stores in 2019. That's huge, right? Like Favor said, if you're a merchant, you can as well verify. You could become a verified merchant on Pinterest, meaning that your Shopify store can be claimed on Pinterest, which is amazing. So there's lots of opportunities for sellers, opportunities for bloggers, content creators. And the funny thing is that everyone is rushing to the TikToks and the Instagrams and all of these other platforms. And Pinterest is hugely ignored, right? And that leaves more room for people like, I, Favor, and the rest of the people who are using Pinterest, because it's getting really great right now. So definitely, if you're thinking if Pinterest is a great platform for your business, there's something called keyword research, right, that can be done. Of course, I would advise that you be sure that your target audience is on Pinterest. Recently, I did a screen share with someone who was doubting because she still felt like Pinterest is a place to get for DIYs and just, decorations and weddings. And she's a multi-level marketer, so she wasn't sure it would work for her. Okay, so I decided we'd have a video call where I share my screen and, right there I'll show you. Favor mentioned using the ads platform to see the keywords, right? When you go there, that's one of the brilliant ways to do keyword research on Pinterest. You would see the number of people that are actively searching for your keywords every month. So if it is 5 million plus people, you'd see it there. If it's 3 million, you'd see it there. It was surprising that a lot of her keywords have 5 million plus people every month, right? And this is something she was doubting was possible on Pinterest. So she got started, and it's been 2 months now, and there's been success, right? But again, Pinterest involves consistency. So when you start and you digress and you step back a little bit, you would see that your impression starts to drop, right? But it's no problem. You can always get back. But getting consistent when you start and continuing to a place where you build your authority on Pinterest is what I would advise, right? Because that's really where you start to take off. So yeah, I'm gonna drop the mic here. Thank you, Favor.
Thank you so much for highlighting this. And I'm so happy to hear the story that you've highlighted about your client, because this is information that people can see and they can understand, because the moment they know that this works for them, it changes. Yeah, it's great to have SEO for your blog, but wouldn't it even be better to have your blog being suggested by Pinterest, just like your video would be suggested by YouTube? So you want to create value for what you're doing, because just like Chioma has also added too, that if you are not consistent, then the platform is not going to reward you. Just like on Instagram, if you don't post reels, you're not going to get that visibility you're looking for. Now imagine if you posted something 3 months ago and you're still gaining traffic today from that same post. How will you feel? Like, there are people who have blogs that years later they are still getting traffic. They've never spent $1 on that post, but they're gaining traffic. It's no magic. It's just structure. It's just obedience to understanding that you are serving your community and you're giving them value. And over time, that's going to come back in huge amounts of, like ROI, especially for your time, the money, the resource, and all those things that you do. Is really going to help. So I'm so glad you're able to mention this, Chioma, because Pinterest is something that I've seen grow, and I've seen it happen for me, for clients, and for any other person who I've talked to on this platform. Some people I've not even worked with one-on-one, and they come and tell me how they've grown. I think CJ was in the room not too long ago, but he jumped off. But I was going to let you guys know, because he was here earlier, and I spoke to him, I think it was about a month ago. And the last time we spoke before that month was, I think, 2 months prior. And he asked me a question about Pinterest. He only had like 5,000 monthly viewers, and he had probably like 5 followers. So in 2.5 months, and I think I took a screenshot and I put it in the Facebook group. If you scroll down, if you look at this guy's Pinterest today, I think it's called Acres World, AKERS, Acres World. He was able to hit 500,000 monthly viewers in 2.5 months after we spoke on Clubhouse. And now he has over 500 followers. Probably it's 50,000. I don't know. But the numbers have jumped up. The last time I checked was last month when we spoke. So he has grown completely out of his expectation, because he was so focused on Instagram. He was like, yeah, I'm not getting anything on Instagram. He focused on Pinterest. It's grown. Somebody that I featured on my podcast, she's I haven't released a podcast episode yet, but she's a private chef. And she was even telling me how with her blogging, she was able to pay her mortgage with her blogging. Like, guys, think about this. We're not talking about ads here. We're talking about organic traffic. The records say 53.3% of traffic is SEO driven, to tell you that you can be able to drive your traffic to your source if you have the right referral traffic. When you think about referrals, some businesses are 99.9% referral, and they're active, they're sustainable. So what makes your business different? How do you stand out from the crowd? And this is what we're talking about. How do you stand out as a blogger? Because a blog on Pinterest is considered as a rich pin. And if you have a rich pin, you're going to have commercial value. And what is commercial value? When people are able to click on something, they can go through an affiliate link, they can go through your custom link, they could go through any kind of link that's going to add commercial value to you. But before you do that, you need to serve them first. So those are the things that you need to focus on. And ultimately, that's going to grow. It's going to boost your algorithm. It's going to give you so much traffic that even the ad that you are posting today can still be ads that you can be able to capitalize on when you don't run ads anymore. When you do these things on Instagram, on Facebook, you're limited by the API. On Pinterest, you pretty much have an open graph to do what you want. Like those 4 million viewers that you talked about, Chioma, that's 5 million out of 400 plus million. And in the US alone, there are about 100 million active users that are ready to buy. When you look at the household income on Pinterest, it actually has the highest household income ratio against any other platform. You can go do that research and see. To tell you that people are inspired to buy, they're ready to buy, they know that they're going to find something to buy, because when they're searching for furniture and they get a Wayfair or IKEA ad, that's going to lead them to click on that because they know they were searching for that. But they wouldn't have been searching for home furniture and find a cooking recipe book as an ad. That's never going to happen because Pinterest searches your highest intent based on value and commitment to the algorithm. So guys, if you're thinking about taking Pinterest to the next level, now is the time. We're going into Q4 and a lot of people are planning. This is what I want to do for the holidays. If Pinterest is a 3.5 month lifetime or half-life kind of thing, then you would realize that right now, the whole of September, you'll be focusing on nurturing them, teaching them, having those educational pieces. In October, try and, give them something to take back, give them a challenge. In November, tell them to give you some feedback. Before you know it, in December, people have saved your content. The content you still posted in September is still going to be pushed out to them because you're working from the same board. Can you imagine that, guys? Imagine how it's so important to understand this, because you would realize if I save something right now on your Instagram post, and I really love this post, I really actually love this post and I want to use it for later, I'm going to save this post, right? But you will never know who saved this post. That's the craziest part. You will never know who saved it. But it's saved. 1,000 people have saved it. 10,000 people have saved it. But you will never know who saved that post. The only way you can know on Pinterest, on Facebook or Instagram, is if you have a custom audience and you go to the Instagram section on audiences and click on whoever saved your post in the last 365 days. Then you run an ad to those people. That's the only way I can feasibly express how you can add or retarget them. Now on Pinterest, you don't have to worry about that, because on Pinterest, you're either getting new customers or you're retargeting the same people who have clicked on your ad or interacted with your ad. So if you are now running that same process on Pinterest, you're going to be running so much feedback because everybody's going to be looking for the best next thing, and you are the best next thing to what they're looking for. So that's how you can drive traffic. That's how you can be part of this and grow. It's worked for me. Pinterest and SEO marketing, this Facebook group has grown right now over 150 members. I can see you guys that are live here. I see somebody saying hi to me. Hey, it's good to see you here. Thanks for the love. I see the emojis across my screen. It's really good to have you guys here. And I used Pinterest. When we hit 500 members in this club, I think that was back in July or so, I took a screenshot of that milestone, because to me that was a huge milestone. I started this club March 6th, and by July we were at 500. No, not by July, by June. I think it was May, June, we were 500. And I took a screenshot, posted it on my Pinterest, because it's a Pinterest business account that I have, and this is an extension of what we do as a business. And the only reason why this club was actually created was after I built the Pinterest marketing course, I now built this club. And a week later, I built the Facebook group, and I never touched or talked about it until we hit 1,000 members in the club. So when we hit 1,000 members in the club, I looked back at the pin that I did, and I was like, this is crazy. Some people have joined, and I could tell, some people have joined Clubhouse because I put an access link. This was before we opened. This is before, Clubhouse was open in public. Before, you had to have that request to join. And I think Pinterest was like that when they first started. You had to actually request to join. So here on Clubhouse, I put that out there and people were able to join. And I see some people that have joined Clubhouse and they were invited by the club. So some people have joined Clubhouse through this club without even me doing anything or spending ads, just because I was intentional about what I was doing. And that's how it's been able to lead up to this point. So now we're getting closer to 2K. Things are going to be changing very soon. And I'm so excited to be building a community like this that started from an idea and has turned into all these amazing things. We've had podcasts. I've also featured Chioma on my podcast, the We Don't Play podcast. We've literally expanded, we've grown, and I've met people off the app who are doing tremendous things. So I'm so excited to see how we can all be able to be part of this, because it's not just for you. Like I want to see more quality content, and I know we can all do it together. So I'm so glad that you guys have all been able to be here. I see we have some new, listeners. We have some returning listeners. I really appreciate you all for being here. I really thank you so much for, spending the time to, be here with us and just talk about how you can use this as a blogger and how you can be able to put this out for yourself. Today is Monday, August 30th, right? And I mentioned that once we hit 1,000 members that was back in July, I was able to activate a deal. And this is what I said you guys should wait for till the end, because I'm about to wrap up the room and I'm going to give you a pro tip as I'm doing this. When I got to 1,000 members in this club, I was like, okay, some people have joined the Pinterest marketing course, because I ideally started this club because of the course. So, and I can see the love hearts and thumbs up on the screen. I see you guys. Thank you so much. When I started this particular club, right, I wanted to intentionally show people how can you use Pinterest? How can you turn Pinterest from a -5 monthly viewership, which I have seen with a client, to over 100,000 monthly viewers in a short period of time, which you will never get on any other platform. Facebook, Instagram, you only get that with Pinterest. So I built this Pinterest marketing course, and for the members of this club, I was able to give them a 70% off deal of this course. And even till today, I've had a few calls, and one of the members have also joined the club today, has joined the Pinterest marketing course. And I'm so excited for next month, because we're going to be having our roundtable. We're going to be having a roundtable with all the paid members in the course. And we're all going to have some high intensive meetings where we're going to be able to really, really help you. And I'm going to be quiet for most of the point, because I want people to really take off what they've learned from the course and see. We have some people who are in modeling who are in there, some people that are running their own global businesses, some people are running their own industries, their own franchise. It's so amazing to see people from all over the world coming together to build something that's so monumental. So with that said, if you click the link in my bio, again, on Instagram or Facebook, I know some requests came into the Facebook group, and I saw yours, Zakia, as well. I've accepted you into the club, into the group, so I'm sure you can be able to binge watch and see me as well if you're in there. So guys, if you click on the link in my Instagram bio or Twitter bio, you're gonna see my link there. As soon as you click on that link, the very first thing that you see there is gonna be called the Pinterest marketing course. And once you click on it, you can grab your 70% off deal today. And by tomorrow, by 11:59 tomorrow, that link is no longer going to be there. It's been there from July, once we hit 1,000 members, and now we're getting closer to 2K. So I literally gave this deal for the members, and people have taken it. They've run with it. They're so interested. We've been able to have amazing conversations, and I'm looking forward to the roundtable, because it just keeps getting better and better. Pinterest is always advancing. So don't think that, oh, this course is old or this course is outdated. The reason why we're doing these things is because Pinterest changes every single day, literally every single day. They have new features every day, and I'm staying on top of them. So I'm making sure that you are not falling behind and learning things as you go, instead of just taking everything and running with it, and start actually having strategies that can build your business. So if you click that link right now, you'll have access to it. Create your password, create your login, and then from there, once you complete your purchase, you're going to get a call with me, and we can be able to really take this up to the next level and show you how you can be able to use your business for better reasons. Because sometimes when you see things, it's better. As human beings, when we're visually impacted by what we see. So when you start seeing things clearly, it can start to help your process, it can start to help your business, and it can start to help everything that you're doing with what you've done over time. And I think I've seen someone that has just come into the room. It's a pleasure to see everybody here. And I just wanted to highlight, because I was just talking about the course, and I just wanted to highlight you, Kamala K. Thank you so much for joining. I know you're part of us, you're part of the course, and I know you're in there deep. So it would be great just to hear from you. I know we met, I think it was last week, and we talked so much about everything to do with Pinterest, and I just loved our conversation. So since you just popped in, I didn't expect this. I just wanted to know if I could give you the microphone so you could just let people know how your experience has been so far, if that's okay with you.
Hello everyone, this is Kamala K. So before I chime in, I'm just trying to figure out, are you cash apping me $100 afterwards?
You got it.
Hey everyone, so I am Kamala K. I actually met Favor on Clubhouse a few months ago, and just been listening to things that he had to say, and I have been on Pinterest for quite some time now. So just a quick backstory about me. I'm a professional model. I do TV commercials and print work, and I'm also a modeling mentor for aspiring models. So I was posting for some time now, pins obviously on Pinterest about how to get into the modeling industry, posting pins about how to pose better in front of the camera, just so that you can finally start loving the quality of the images that you capture. And so I would get people in my Instagram saying like, hey, I found you from Pinterest. So I started realizing, okay, well, clearly I'm doing something right, but how can I kind of amp this up a little bit just to get more traction to people seeing my content? And so that's how then I discovered Favor on Clubhouse, and he happened to be doing something with his program at the time. And so I was like, okay, I literally had a conversation with him. I was like, Favor, if this is trash, like, I'm going to be honest. I'm like, Favor, if this is trash, it's not going to work out for me, right? So I was just candidly having some banter with him. So I did end up paying for his Pinterest course. And so I am through, 5 modules, Favor?
Yeah.
So I'll be starting on module 2 this week. So like he mentioned, we had our one-on-one call last week. So I know that throughout the modules, like, we can set up one-on-one calls with him. So yeah, I'm just getting started and looking forward to seeing all of the transitions. And he walked me through, like last week, he walked me through setting up my idea pins, because I've always been doing pins, but Pinterest rolled out their newest idea pins. So he just kind of walked me through how to go about doing my first one. So I did create my first one a few days ago, and so it's live now on my page. So yeah, we will see as I progress. But yeah, I'm pretty new to his program so far.
Thank you so much, Kamala K. And I'm glad you did that idea pin, because now it's going to stick out like a thumb because it's the first one. But it's going to do so well, and I can't wait to see the progress, because once you actually understand the value of what you're doing, it becomes even more fun than it is technical. And that's what we actually were able to do, really figure out what is a creative process. How can we answer questions without being too keyword stuffy, or like, oh, we have to rank for this word or that word. Yeah, ranking is great, but are they clicking? Are they engaging? Are they commenting? Are they saving? Can you see those things? On Pinterest, if somebody saves something, you can see where they saved it to, but you can't see that on Instagram. So I'm glad that you were able to, bring that to the light and at least let people know as well, Kamala K. I really appreciate you for that. Guys, like I said earlier, it's just amazing to be here and connect with you all and see how we can be able to make these things happen. So if you are still doubting if Pinterest is for you, I don't know what else to tell you guys, but this is something that can change your life. I've seen people turn off Instagram, turn on Pinterest for a year, and they're still gaining benefits and profits from what they spent that year that they actually invested their time in. So if you're focusing on longevity, if you're focusing on a business with an exit plan, you're focusing on a business with actually creating strategy modules, then that can also help you take yourself to the next level. It's not just about the course. It's not just about what's in the course. It's not just about how to post. It's about how can you build that long-lasting brand, and how can you be able to take yourself from point A to point B, making sure that you don't lose your business, lose your brand message, and still sustain yourself as a creator. So make sure you guys are able to click the link in my bio, sign up, and make sure you're able to tap in, because if you don't see that thing by September 1st, just know what happened. It was gone, because it's been on for the whole of July. It's also been on for the whole of August. People have come in. It's been amazing. We're going to have a round table very soon, and it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see how everybody's going to react to this. So please make sure that you're able to tap in and grab this before it goes, because after this is going to go back to where it was, because we have other things to focus on. And I know that you guys can still be part of this Pinterest marketing course, but you want to take advantage of this right now. I can see Shannon is here as well, and I wanted to make sure that I can get to you, Shannon. Thank you so much for being here. I know I closed off the hand raising because I wanted to respect everyone's time and make sure I can close on time as well. So Shannon, I know you're here. Thank you so much for waiting. My sincere apologies. I know it's been a busy room, but I definitely want to hear from you now, and hear if you have a question, if there's anything that you want to add, so I can be able to help you today.
Thank you so much. Yes, I just have a question. Thank you for allowing me to speak. This was definitely divine timing, because I just got into Pinterest about a week ago, and I just actually posted it within 10 minutes ago. I'm already at 700 views on it.
Hold on, Shannon.
Keep breaking up.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Shannon, sorry, I think you're breaking up. Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys. Oh no, can you hear me?
Okay, now you're good.
Okay, so quick question before I start breaking up again. Recycling content, meaning the content that I post on Instagram, simply bringing it over to Pinterest. Is that something that you see or?
So let me get this right. So you want to repurpose content from your Instagram to Pinterest and know how to do it?
That's currently what I'm doing, and I am getting a lot of views on there, but I'm asking if I should create new content for Pinterest, or if I can continue repurposing my content that I'm already posting on.
Oh, got it. Okay, that's a great question you asked there. So you could do it in two ways. The first way is you can repurpose content on Pinterest, because Pinterest actually allows you to post content and upload that content and push that content to the maximum potential if and only if that post has never been on Pinterest before. So everything that you post on Pinterest is fresh. I'm getting the red bar. Okay, I hope you guys can hear me.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, thank you. So the moment you start to create content on Pinterest and you upload it and it's never surfaced on the platform, that platform, Pinterest itself, is going to literally take your content as fresh. So if you posted this content 3 weeks ago on Instagram and you post it freshly on Pinterest, that's going to be considered as fresh content. Now, usually it takes about 1 to 5, essentially a good solid 3 to 5 days to index. Just like when you post a blog, you can take some time to index it. It may take 24 hours, it may take 48 hours. Sometimes it may just, literally kick off as soon as you click publish, but it really depends on how consistent you are. So you can do what you've done now, which is repurposing content. But here's one thing you can also do to advance and actually boost your traffic, is when you take that Instagram link and you take that and add that as a destination link on the new pin that you've created for that post. So when you do that, you're going to refer people back to that what is it called? Back to that Instagram, and that is considered as a backlink. Now, when a backlink happens, it's just a backlink simply is another source referring to you that someone can click through without you posting it yourself. So essentially, you've created a backlink because Instagram is a domain on its own and Pinterest is a domain on its own. So if you repurpose content from Instagram to Pinterest and send people back to Instagram, you've literally created a vicious cycle. You've created a dynamic effect because now they're going back to that post they've seen 3 weeks ago, which could turn to 52 weeks ago, a year later. 3 years later, it could be 100 and something weeks old. But because it's living on Pinterest, you will always get that traffic if somebody is searching for that content that is relevant to your business, because you are able to show up, and that is also going to end up considered as a legacy pin, because the longer it stays on the platform, the more authoritative it is. That's why when you think about the blogs being referred to on Google, the older that post is or the older that video is, the more it gains authority because it's been able to be indexed over and over and over again. So that's one way you can do it. The second way you can do it is when you're repurposing content from Instagram has a 1080 by 1080 pixel or 1000 by 1000, pretty much a square format. And if you're using it on stories is going to be possibly like a little longer, like story form, just to fill up your screen. You want to use that type of formatting for your Pinterest. So some people, what I see people do is they would create something for Instagram and then they would create something for their story. So that picture that's on your story could be repurposed to Pinterest and not the other way around. Because when you start creating content for Pinterest and then you repurpose to Instagram, you're going to have, you're not really helping the algorithm, because it's supposed to be the other way around. Because on Pinterest business, you can claim your Instagram account. And as soon as you claim your Instagram account, you're telling Pinterest business that I'm the owner of this Instagram account. It is a business profile because you have a business profile account on Instagram. And more importantly, you have content there that you're feeding your Instagram community. So Pinterest does not give you any bad credit because you've posted something on Instagram and you've posted it on Pinterest. It actually rewards you because now you're actually telling someone where else to go. That's why, like an app, if somebody has an app in the Play Store on the App Store, they can literally post their content there and get big traffic or referral traffic because it's leading to another source. So Pinterest loves it when you actually link it. It's actually bad practice if you don't link anything. By the way, if you don't link anything to your image or to your video, it's bad practice because Pinterest is expecting you to send them somewhere. If somebody clicks, I've seen it happen to me. If I click on someone's image and it doesn't take me to a desired website or a place I can check it out, chances are I'm never going to see that post again. Somebody might even report it because you're not following the community guidelines. You're supposed to lead them somewhere because it's an inspirational platform. It's not a stick-on platform. So you can be able to create content with desire and twist it up in a way that let them be able to understand that your content is on Instagram and then repurpose it. And one way you can actually build traffic on Instagram, Shannon, and try this, tell me if this works too, is create a carousel or do a video, and then at the end of that video or the end of that carousel, talk about your Instagram and where they can find you. If it's your website, put that actually in text format. If your username is, whatever your username is, put that text, actually type it on the screen, because Pinterest actually screens the image. Pinterest actually scans the image. And if that image is scanned and you have related posts to it, it's always going to get the next best post, which will be yours. And the more it's building, the more you're layering up your content. And that way, Pinterest actually gets to understand you. And because you're posting at least once a day, you will see tremendous traffic and tremendous growth. And then when you add ads on top of that, you're just literally taking over the whole platform. So whatever you're doing has an audience, and I know you can be able to drive more traffic. You just need to repurpose it more and use alt text as well on both your Instagram and your Pinterest. If you're using alt text on Instagram, take that same alt text, alternative text, which you can find in your advanced settings before you post on Instagram, and take that information to your Pinterest, because when you do that, you're going to build something called relatability content, and that relevance is going to reward you in the future because Pinterest will actually give you as a referral compared to somebody else who did not put that as a referral in their copy. Does that help, Shannon? I know it was a lot.
Perfect. No, that was amazing. I had my notes. That is exactly what I was looking for. I've already been repurposing the content, and like I said, I just posted something within 15 minutes ago, and it's already doing great. So I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and I'll take the notes and apply it on my next pin. So thank you.
You're most welcome.
Hey, Favor, can I chime in for Shannon's comment? Is it also good practice? So, for instance, if you take something from Instagram, let's say it was a story, and you're adding that to your Pinterest, it's good to add text in the actual platform that you're trying to use. So, if you're bringing over something from Instagram, for instance, and I'll just use mine, like mine will be posting tips. So, even though that text may already be on the screen from Instagram, like I'll use the text feature again in Pinterest and put like a new layer over it and then type posting tips again, just so Pinterest can pick up the fact that I'm using text, so that they can add that to my description layer. So they like when you use their actual features and not always just copying and pasting essentially from another platform. When you say that's true, Favor?
Oh yeah, that's spot on. Go ahead, Shannon.
No, that's okay. I was just letting you know that I love that, and I will definitely apply that. So thank you.
Yeah, Kamala K is dropping those gems right now. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I appreciate that. Chioma, you wanted to say something too?
Yes, please. So yeah, when you were mentioning about repurposing content, so there's another sweet spot about Pinterest when it comes to repurposing content. It is that you almost can never run out of content, right? So how this works is, like Favor said, you do not need to go ahead and start creating brand new content, because the way that we work on Instagram for content creators and service-based businesses who use Instagram, you see that you give out a lot of tips all the time, very brilliant, valuable tips. You can bring all of those things onto Pinterest, right? And then, yeah, like Favor said, you do not need to, as long as Pinterest has never seen that pin before, it is considered a fresh pin, so it's a fresh start. But there's another thing with Pinterest, right? So for example, like Kamala said, she posts, like I looked to your Pinterest, Kamala, and it's amazing. So when she posts posing tips on Pinterest, or for example, she has one posing tip, right? One Instagram content where she talks about, a type of post, that you can have as a new model to get found. She takes that to Pinterest, right? Now she creates a brand new, in Pinterest pin size and everything, make it Pinterest friendly, right? In the way that you go on and do a little bit more work, where you don't just take Pinterest and Instagram have different dimensions, different sizes, right? So with Instagram, there's 100 and I think 50 or 30 by 150, 30. But with Pinterest, is different. With Pinterest, it is 1,000 by 1,500. Right, that's the recommended size by Pinterest. So if you really want Pinterest to work for you, you'd use the Pinterest size. That's with pins, not with idea pins now, with normal pins, right? But another thing is that when you have just one content, you can create multiple images, because the thing with Pinterest is you just have to create fresh pins. It doesn't matter the content that's on it. So for example, I have a pin on Pinterest where the text overlay on it says how to get started on Pinterest as a beginner, right? That's the text, that's the title of my pin. And I've done something like that on Instagram. Now I create a fresh, design for that, and I decide to do that like 10 times. So there's 10 different pin designs for the same, topic I'm talking about. So right now I have 10 opportunities to drive traffic to the same one content that I have, in your case, Instagram, right? My case would be to a blog, or to a podcast or YouTube, any of those, or to a sign up, form. So Pinterest pretty much gives you an opportunity to send traffic anywhere, as long as you have valid content on those other platforms, right? As long as you share valuable content. So now I have 10 opportunities to send traffic back there. So all I just have to do is, if you're using Canva, for example, you create, various pins. All you need to do is just, change the images, change the colors, the fonts, make the design look different in a way that Pinterest has never seen before. but it is pretty much the same link. So pretty much Pinterest will not penalize you for putting the same link, but there's a strategy to it. You don't just take 10, you don't just put 10 designs at once, send it to one link in one day. That's bad practice. Okay, I'm sure Favor's course would, teach you all of that, the best ways to pin so that you don't get, marked as spam and all of that. But repurposing on Pinterest is the sweetest spot because you do not have to kill yourself over creating brand new content. One piece of content that you have can go on Pinterest 100 times, right? As long as there's different designs, different pin designs that you're using, and it pretty much continues to get you traffic, not just today, not just in 24 hours, but it is evergreen, meaning that, your reach never ends as long as your pinning strategy is good. So yeah, I'm done speaking.
That was spot on.
Thank you for that compliment. I appreciate it. This is Kamala.
You're welcome.
Y'all are amazing. Kamala K and Chioma just dropped some amazing information that you can definitely take home. And I just love how you were able to put it down and just make it clear, because sometimes we think it's hard, but it's really about what you want to do and how creative you are that can make that jump for you. So Shannon, I'm glad that you brought this question. And I wanted to ask you, do you use Canva?
I do, yes.
Okay, so just to add on to what Chioma and Kamala K said, when you use Canva, right, do it like this, and this is going to change. Before you even publish or download your image or your video, there's a section at the top that actually tells you to name your file, right? And this, if you've tried this, see what happens. Actually test anything and see what happens on Pinterest. When you rename your file before you save your Canva post, that name of the file needs to have your primary keyword and your related keywords. So if your image caption or your in-text graphic has some words, use those same words in a way that can be described naturally into your file name, because the file name is going to be considered as metadata. And that is something that you do not want to miss out on, because that's the first sticky point that the algorithm is going to find before it even finds your content, because it's going to read that file name and say, okay, I like the colors. Okay, the colors are corresponding. Okay, where's the destination link? The link has the same image. That's going to drive referral traffic, and it's going to build your algorithm even better for the SERP, which is a search engine results page. So what you can do with Canva is do it like this, right? This is something I think would really help. As soon as you've put your file name and you've completed your image, download it as an MP4, right? That's going to turn that picture into a video file. You download the MP4, and then you also download the PNG, because I think PNG is great for web images more than JPEG, but you can also test and see. When you download it as a PNG, it's going to have the same file name, right? Then you also download it as a PDF. If you're using a platform like LinkedIn, for example, or you have an email list, that PDF can be really great for you to actually upload, because it will have the same file name. And then you can now use your descriptive text to actually enhance the image or enhance what you're talking about. Then take that MP4 and then turn that into an idea pin. And then take the image, the PNG, and repurpose that same media type, or not media type because they're two different formats, but that same content piece as a pin, as an actual static pin. And then see what happens. Like you've just told us now, with the idea pin, you've gotten those numbers of views. And that's because right now, Pinterest is actually pushing creators to use more idea pins than their static pins. But the only thing with idea pins is that you can't click through an idea pin unless you have a product or you have an affiliate. And you can't really do that unless you have those two options. But you can use the same content piece and take that to your website through Pinterest, because that's going to be considered as a rich pin. And the good thing that actually Pinterest does is, like Chioma said too, is that if you have that same image, it has the same template, it has the same file, and everything is looking pretty much cohesive. When Pinterest scans that image, if you look at your search bar, you're going to see like a little like a screen capture or like a lens next to it. That's where you can actually scan an image. So when you scan those images, it can really help you to start seeing similar results. And chances are, when you start scrolling down the feed, tell me and just let me know if this works. when you keep scrolling down a Pinterest feed that you're actually looking for something specific, the further you go down, I won't say the more relevant it is, but the less chances you are going to click on it. Because just like on Google, you don't go after the first page, second page, third page, unless you're looking for something specific or you're trying to really look for something that is not even on the first page. That's the same thing with Pinterest. The more you keep scrolling, the less you're able to see that's related to what you're doing, but you're still going to have something called more ideas. That doesn't mean that those ideas are not relevant. It's probably not relevant to the search because you've been scrolling down past whatever Pinterest gave you as a referral. So try and use that strategy on Canva, repurpose that same content, see what happens, post it at least once a day, and over 30 days, you're going to see an immense buildup in traffic. And make sure that your last carousel always leads to them to follow, to save, to comment, or to do something that actually has a call to action intent. If you leave them hanging, they'll leave you hanging. So that's something that I can definitely be able to, highlight for you. Shannon, was that helpful from what I mentioned, Chioma and Kamala K as well?
This was amazing. This was way more than I expected. I'm just writing crazy over here. I did want to say to Kamala, I just viewed all of my posts on Pinterest, and the one that has the most views is the one that I actually used the text on Pinterest. I actually typed it out on Pinterest. So that one has the most views. So that I will confirm that statement.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear.
Thank you guys so much. You answered my questions. I really appreciate it.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And guys, you guys are all welcome to join this club. This is Pinterest and SEO Marketing Club. If you want to join the Facebook group, you can also click the link in my bio on Instagram or Twitter so you can be able to join. And also, like I said earlier, the Pinterest marketing course is available for you. That link is not going to be available after the 31st. So on the 1st, when we come back here, you're not going to see that link, and I won't be talking about it as much because it's going to be exclusively for the members in the Facebook group, and it's also going to be for people in the mailing list. It's not going to be accessible to the public like this because I want to make sure that it's exclusive, and whoever gets it, you're really, really doing good for yourself, because that way you can be able to save a lot of time, money, resource on just searching online and going on different pages to look for the same thing. So I'm glad that this was able to be, emulated and let you guys know how effective this can be for bloggers. So I know I'm going to come with another pro tip, which I have been giving back to back, but I made sure that I said I was going to give you guys one and another one too as well. And this is it. I want to make sure that I can be able to at least deliver this, because I did open the room and I know we had questions, and pretty much I've said what I was going to say because it was part of the questions asked, but I also want to make sure that I can also enhance this for those who have just joined us today. So this is one tip that you can take away, and this is a bonus that will follow after it. When you use Pinterest as a business, you are going to use Pinterest as a way to inform your audience about your business. Every brand has a brand culture, has a brand development, has a brand business model. Every business has a mission, vision, objective. They have core objectives, they have policies, they have procedures, they have things that are set in place. So you as a business are using Pinterest to take that information that you already have. Not that you're going to start a business on Pinterest. You already have a business on Pinterest, and you're expanding your business through Pinterest traffic by creating relevant content. And this is something that you have to keep in mind. Relevant content. And how do you apply relevant content? If I post something today and I'm talking about a certain topic, the board that I'm creating or the board that I'm saving it to needs to have that keyword somewhere in my copy. So if I'm talking about, for example, digital marketing pro tips for beginners, for example, the board that I should be saving this to should be digital marketing or, beginner's guide, something that is related to my post. It doesn't have to be verbatim, but it has to make sense semantically. So when you're doing that, you're creating cohesive content flow, and that way Pinterest is able to pick out your content. Because if you look on Pinterest and search, you're going to be able to search for pins, you can search for videos, you can search for boards. And your board could be one of those boards people are searching for, And if your content is in that board, you're driving traffic to that piece of content you're creating. So make sure that you have relevant content. That's number one. And here's a bonus. After you give them that relevant content piece, make sure that as soon as you post it, as soon as you post this content, you want to make sure that that content is repurposed to the platform that you're actually sending them to, and building continuity. Like, you want to have a continuation of what you just said. If somebody clicks on a picture that says, enjoy life, or, freedom from whatever, from stress, for example, and they click on it, the same image that they saw on that Pinterest pin should be the same picture that they see in your blog. This is why. If you have this Chrome extension called Pin Save button, you can be able to start pinning content from websites to your blog or to your Pinterest, to the relevant board, because there's a way you can save that content. So when you now focus on call to action pieces, you want to have commercial and transactional keywords. Commercial keywords could be best restaurants to eat in Venice, for example. It could be best places to cook. Let's say you're going to I'm just thinking out loud. If you're going to like a steakhouse, for example, or you're going to like a restaurant that has, places that you can be able to eat or do whatever you want to do, you can figure out those things because you searched for something related closely to that. And why am I bringing this up as an example? Because as a blogger, you want to document something. Whatever you're posting, you're documenting it. If you're creating something, you're documenting that success, you're documenting that process. If you have a blog about a certain person or a certain thing, even the way you're interlinking those things are going to make sense, because when Pinterest picks up that picture, it's going to scan all the details that are in that link, from the link itself, literally from the www.whateveritself.com/whatever it is. It's going to scan your website. And the only reason why you're seeing your analytics on the back end is because someone somewhere clicked on that link and they stayed on that page because you told them to click on it. And you don't have to tell them by telling them to click on it. You can tell them something inspirational, just like Chioma said, that once it's inspired content, that content is going to be taken to the next level, and that's going to help people understand what you do as a business and how they can be able to connect with you. One of the fastest ways you can do this is if you have a Pinterest business account and you can be able to add a video cover image. And this is why I'm adding this first and second bonus to the end, is you can actually have a bonus where you are actually giving value to your audience without even realizing it when you have a video cover on your profile. You can have an image, which is great, and by default, what usually happens is that you see like your pins are always like put in a carousel format or in a diagonal format, but you can change that to a singular image. And make sure, just like on YouTube, guys, on YouTube, when you see someone that has a cover on YouTube, they have a show. They say every Sundays and Mondays from 7 p.m. Pacific, we're going to be showing you this. This is our social icons. That is a cover image, right? Now take that cover image, put that on Pinterest, and turn that into a video. And the good thing, think about it. On YouTube, you can't have a cover video profile, but on Pinterest, you can. You can have a photo as a cover, on both platforms. Even on Facebook, you can have a cover image, on your Facebook page or group. But on Pinterest, when you have a video that could be as long as 2 minutes, you're literally showing people what you do from a glimpse. And that glimpse is going to allow them to follow you, contact you. You can put your email address there, your phone number, your work email, your office number, and drive traffic, because it's a great source for leads. It allows people to actually feel warm when they come to your board. Imagine me coming to your place and looking at your vision board. That's going to give me an impression of who you are or who you want to be. And that's a really good way of showing what your business is like, because you can actually show the future value of your business by posting content that's going to inspire them. So with that said, I hope all this information you've taken today has really been able to help you understand what you can be able to do with your business, how you can drive traffic from one source to the other without being so wordy, without being too slousy, without being too salesy, without being too forward. These are things that you can do today and they can help you tomorrow, because the blog that you write today can save somebody else's time tomorrow, and you can be able to do so much with it. Because like I said, someone that I know, she blogged and she was able to pay her mortgage with her blogging. That just tells you the immense value and commercial value that asset can be to your business or to you as a person when you take it seriously. No one can take it seriously apart from you, and I can only be here to inspire you and to motivate you and to push and to give you that, extra push, because I really believe in you and I can believe that you can do it just like I did. But I can't do anything if you don't do anything about it. So that's really why I'm here, to be here every day to show you that it's possible. And don't give up, because when you don't see results on Instagram, some people delete their posts. And this is something that people do. I've done it myself. Like, if that was like back then, like I would, 10 likes. Okay, when it turns to 11, it changes. That's how Instagram was back then. But because you're posting content, you don't know if it's going to hit, if it's going to fly, if it's going to, sink. You don't really know. But on Pinterest, what you are aware of and what you're guaranteed is if my profile image, my description, my board, my title, my destination link, all those things are checklisted, and I've been able to actually cross-check them all out, and I've been able to do it the right way with the best practice, there's a guarantee, almost 1,000% guarantee, that you can be able to really drive traffic, and more importantly, you can be able to have lasting impressions. And that's what you want to have as a business, lasting impressions. If you don't have lasting impressions, you can't really go far. And those are things that you are going to actually see, which will take time. The moment you start seeing that your content is growing, you start to actually notice that things are happening in the back end. And where's the back end? It can be a Pinterest analytics dashboard. It could be a Google Search Console insights. It could be any of those things. So you make sure that you have those things in place, and those things are going to help you scale to the next level. So I'm glad that I was able to be here, connect with you all, and talk about this. Tomorrow, I'm going to be here tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. And the topic is digital marketing. And I'm starting with A. Digital marketing ABCs for entrepreneurs, starting with A. There are 26 letters in the alphabet, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. I actually scheduled this room, I think it was 2 or 1.5 months ago, and I'm so glad that we finally got to August 31st, because by God's grace, by tomorrow, we'll be able to show you how you can be able to do this with A. I'm going to start off with like alt text, for example, show you exactly what alt text does. So I'm going to go deep into the search and just stick on A. I'm going to give you some highlights on them. We're going to go to B, C, D, that's, so on and so forth. But that's something that you're going to be able to benefit and learn how to be able to use it for yourself. So with that said, I just wanted to, do popcorn style and ask if anybody has anything to say. Now is the time. It would be great to, just hear from you all. We've been here for about an hour plus 37 minutes. So I'm going to close off the room very soon. But if anyone has any question or popcorn time, please do it. I'll open up the room one more time because I know some new people have come. Then I'll close it in the next 5 minutes. So the hand raising is open. If you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand and I'll close it back again in the next 2 minutes. So yeah, Chioma, it's up to you.
Yeah, I wanted to quickly add the Pinterest A to Z that you just mentioned. So this was exactly what brought me back to Clubhouse. So I've been doing the Pinterest A to Z with Suman, JJ, and all of the popular Pinterest people we have here on Clubhouse. It's been amazing. It's challenged me so much to share, and I think I've done Clubhouse rooms now, 13 times, right? I've never been on Clubhouse this much before, and it's been pretty amazing. So lots of great feedback. I think it's going to be amazing. I'd love to show up, from time to time, and I'll advise everyone as well to be here, because there's lots of people that got amazing value, from here, because it's going to be challenging Favor and, whoever the other Pinterest experts that come up on stage to talk about, all of the values from Pinterest A to Z. And then, pretty much free value, great value, and it's really going to take you so far, because I've gotten feedback from people. The Pinterest A to Z that I've been doing with, other people, We're currently at letter Q right now, and it's going to be ending in, I think, another 2 weeks. So yeah, pretty much jump on it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for highlighting that. I appreciate it. I think I saw some of the rooms happening and Suman told me about it, but it's like the timing you guys chose was like right in the middle on a Friday. But I'm so glad that you guys are having a good time with that. And I can see that the more we're able to educate more people about Pinterest, the bigger the community is. And I'm sure we can definitely impact more people as we go. So this is exciting. Thank you so much for highlighting that. I saw, Colin, you wanted to say something before we go to Marianne?
Yeah, I'll let the lady, I'll let Marianne go first before we. Go ahead, Marianne, I'll go after you.
Okay, ladies first. Thank you so much. Marianne, yes.
Hi, thank you for opening up the room. I hope this isn't a redundant or irrelevant question. Oh boy. Okay. I started a Pinterest ad campaign for my brand. It's an accessories brand. Just to give some context. Sorry, I'm going to go upstairs to escape this noise. And here's what happened. I experienced this blank white page when I would go into my ad overview, like the bird's eye view of the ad and what needs to be changed, etc., etc. So I spoke to my optimization specialist, aka my account manager from Pinterest. And I told her, listen, I can't make the changes that you're recommending. In fact, I can't even get into billing because there's a huge technical error with my account, it seems. So to keep it quick, I don't want to take up too much time. I burned through about $1,000 in ad spend without being able to edit my campaign, and they're telling me they're not responsible for their delayed and support. So this isn't really a content question. This is more of a, has this happened to anybody else? Because I feel scammed and I was not provided the proper service and support from my account manager. So I was just wondering if anybody dealt with this and how you would advise.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's back up a little bit. So you spent that in ads. What type of because I want to break this down. What type of campaign objective was it on Pinterest?
Conversion.
Okay. Second question. Did you install the Pinterest tag manager to your website?
I don't even know if I could. I think I did. But I was having trouble. When I tell you that I was getting the white screen, I couldn't even see what do you call it? A menu bar of actions to take. I was getting a totally white screen. So I couldn't do the most basic things when I logged into my Pinterest.
Okay. And your website is mishmishco.com?
Yes.
And that's where you ran the ad, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to check real quick. So I do see you have your Pinterest tag on. It actually fired up. So, and it says that you initialized an event and that was sent successfully. And that was, that's the page URL. And then you also did a page visit. So when you now ran the campaign as a conversion, what were the metrics that you were looking for as far as CPM and keywords?
So this was with the guidance of my account manager. So we were looking at things. We were looking at keywords that were performing really well because this is a high ticket item that I'm selling. So it was, I sell silk scarves. That's not the only thing that I sell, but this campaign was specifically for the scarves. So we were looking for a click-through rate at about 0.70%, and it was above that. And then outbound clicks. Yeah, so we were looking for that. But then as far as, what was I saying? As far as add to carts, there was nothing. And then as far as conversions and a purchase being made, there was nothing. And then on top of that, I had such little access to the data because what would happen is I would see the complete dashboard when I would get on the call with my manager, with the account manager, and I would see it from her window, but I couldn't see it from mine. So you're asking great questions, but I can't even answer all of the questions that you're asking because I didn't even have the most basic data, which goes back to my main point is that the campaign was running and I was pretty much blind. And by the time that they paused the ad for me, it was about $950+ spent with nothing to show for it.
Wow. That's
sorry, I don't mean to complain, but
I'm actually listening because I want to see how this can be solved, because I'm looking at your site and the first thing that I noticed, I don't know if this caused it, but it could potentially cause it, because I know how important H1 tagging is. A H1 tag is known as a heading tag, where you can be able to identify what your business is, because I know I'm seeing Mishmish, the label is the title, and then the description is an Egyptian brand's luxury silk scarves and accessories. You have amazing scarves, by the way. This is really, really lovely. I love the way you have been able to.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really good. Even the logo kind of fits, and I think the logo is how you made the scarves. I'm just guessing, like with the design.
Yep, you're right. You got it.
Awesome. I know I was seeing something. This is really good. So with your heading, right? The H1 tag is, I've never seen this before. I don't know why Pinterest didn't tell you, but your H1 tag has a code, and that is bad, because that's probably what happened, because a H1 tag is so important. It's like having a book without a book cover or without a book title. Like, no one's gonna really see it or really know what's inside or what the context is. And your heading tag has functions and parentheses and documents and mobile heights and asterisks, and these are things that could limit your reach, because when Google indexes your website, especially if you're running a conversion campaign, the things that you have on your platform, on your website, could actually make or break your campaign. So because you already have everything connected, and I can see your Pinterest is also connected to it. When I click on Pinterest, like the Pinterest section, it says page not found, but I can still see it in your listing. So these are little things that they probably wouldn't have told you on Pinterest, because they're literally just handling your account. They don't know what's going on in your website, so you can't really put it on them 100%. I mean, I wasn't there. I can't tell. I'm just speaking based on what I see currently, but from those little things that I've already spotted on your website, that could limit your conversion, because you can actually have a 5% conversion on Pinterest. I've seen it happen. People have a 1 to 2% conversion. You can have 5%.
Wow.
It's very possible. It's just that you just need to set those triggers and have those conversions, because even like with your conversion event, I only see 2 events: initialized event and page visit event. I should be seeing, like you said, add to cart event. I should be seeing those events, because if you don't track them or if you don't tally them, then the money is just going to run through the ad and you're not going to see that result, because $1,000 you should be making 5 times back, because $1 on Pinterest is so valuable. So imagine you've spent that, let's say you've used $1,000, divide that by 30. Now you're seeing, okay, what is your average click-through rate? What is your frequency? When you have those conversion events connected and they're optimized for search, then everything else that's on your website is going to drive traffic to that particular spot. And for you, because you have this amazing products and they're unforgettable designs. I love how you said get lost in the maze. It's so powerful. I love how you were able to really bring this out and show exactly what your brand is, what the culture is, and what people are going to expect from there as a promise, as a brand promise. If you are able to,
thank you.
You're welcome, anytime. If you can be able to use your blog, because I see you have one blog, and it was about a fascinating look, which is really nice. If you are able to add another blog, and try this and do it in this way, because this can change completely. Write a blog, and you can do it in 2 ways. Either you can run it as a case study and pick one of the people who have already bought from you and talking about the textile. You can probably interview them or have a spotlight and ask them exactly what they use it for. That can be able to help someone have a custom avatar and actually connect with you. And then you could run that as an ad. Or because it's one product that you have a very comprehensive blog on your website that explains the features, the benefits, what it's done for other people. You can probably connect some other Instagram posts as embedded codes like I was talking about before. Building that social traffic, that social proof, because you have amazing reviews and they're popping up. So no one's gonna deny the fact that it's looking good because you've been able to show that. Now you want to convert this traffic that you've just built, because you've been able to build traffic to the account, but you've not been able to convert them. So if you have your Pinterest conversion events tagged, and let's say the first one, let's say you divide that $1,000, let's say into 500, that 500, you can run it for a month, right? And if you divide like 500 by 12, you're pretty much running on those ad costs that I was mentioning before, the low dollar costs. And as you're increasing, it's going to be a bid. So if you send traffic and you're saying, okay, I want to find new customers, send them all to this blog. They are all going to get to that blog landing page and read the content. And I would also put a link or display products, that can allow them to actually click through there and purchase it themselves after they've read it. You can put it at the top, in the middle, or the bottom. It's a good way, because some people actually read articles, scroll all the way down to the bottom and scroll back up. So you have to think about how are people connecting with your content online. And then when you do that blog specifically, and you talk about it as a product, and you now take that link of your blog to Pinterest, and then maybe talk about it and have the image caption like we mentioned, and probably align it to the left, and then give them something for them to describe, or tell them learn how to wear our amazing textiles, then you can still be able to drive traffic there, because now on Pinterest, you're going to be attracting people that love textile, the people that love scarves, the people that have accessories, and then put that into your search description, and that can also help. One of the things that you will see is that if you run traffic like that to the new customers, and then you take that other 500 and run a video, which is another set, and show them how it's used, let's say in 10 seconds, like have a user generated ad, show like angles, people, wearing them in different places, just giving them a brand persona, and then you run that same ad either to the same blog or to the actual product image that they are seeing as an ad. You're going to see a huge boost in traffic, because you should be getting more followers, you should be getting more views, and ultimately more sales, because you're literally powering a product that is already standing out based on the algorithm that you actually chose to give the search query through. So those are two ways you can be able to do it, and you can see a tremendous boost, because you don't want to run an ad and then lose the money and then lose the audience. You want to actually grab the audience attention and keep them in by staying connected to them, because you're actually giving them value commercially every single time you post something as you spend. So I'm sorry to hear what happened, but don't give up on Pinterest, because you can make that back faster than you'd ever make it on any other platform, especially if you have the right strategy. And I talk about that in the course. There's an advertising section in the course that I talk about how you can really use your advertising well, and those guidelines that can help you scale forward. But you already have an amazing brand. You just need to push it out with the right content. So I hope that was able to give you some clarity on possibly what could have happened. I can't be spot on, because I don't know. I can't see your dashboard unless I literally go into it, but from what I'm seeing from the outside, those are the potential possibilities that could have happened.
Thank you. Those are great suggestions. I hired an e-commerce mentor, kind of expensive, and I'm still hearing new things from you that I didn't hear from him. So thank you very much. I'll be sure to implement that. And yes, I still do believe that Pinterest is a good place to market. So I haven't given up on them yet. I just need them to assist me. So I just want to be clear. So there were two things happening. The things that you pointed out on my website, all right, but what I'm saying is that on the Pinterest website, I could not do anything, regardless of the external website that my ad account was linked to. There was some issue happening before I had even linked my website to it. But regardless, the feedback and what you noticed on my website, I'll definitely be sure to fix that.
Okay.
And thank you.
You're welcome. Chioma, did you have something to say? Because I know you deal with ads too.
Yeah. So, well, that's. I'm really sorry to hear that. But I would like to know at what time did you have this white space issue with Pinterest?
Okay, so the campaign was launched beginning of July, and it just just paused the week before last. So that would make it about 2 months.
Cool.
So initially it was $20 a day, and then I degraded it to $10 a day because of budget constraints and the lack of conversions.
Okay. So one of the problems, that might have happened with you not being able to see anything on your Pinterest. Pinterest had a glitch at the time, right? And I had a lot of people reach out to me to say, they couldn't see anything on their Pinterest. And your Pinterest manager was supposed to let you know that, so maybe they did not know. Pinterest has, been dealing with some glitches because there's changes going on. Times when people would try to check, your Pinterest account has over 1 million monthly impressions, and you go there and you're seeing just 100 impressions. It's really a glitch, right? When you log out and you log back in, everything pretty much just settles. But I think that's settled now. And what you were experiencing with Pinterest, with your Pinterest ads not converting, Favor gave, very brilliant answers to the questions that you have. But I would say that, it might have not entirely been your Pinterest manager's fault, but there has to be a Pinterest ad strategy before you go on to run any type of Pinterest ad. So yours is, you're trying to sell a product, right? A great strategy, of course, would be, like Favor said, have a Pinterest, like we have always been saying, it's a place for you to inspire people, inspire a purchase, inspire people to feel like they really want to have your product on them. And the way to do it is not to send people to a catalog or to send people to a products page, right? It's not to do that. People could, get there, get distracted, leave. So you need to make provisions. Your Pinterest ad manager needs to make provisions for times when people land on your website or your catalog or your product pages and they leave, right? By this, I would say that, have various things set in place first before you even run any ad. So Pinterest ad is great, but it gets a bad name when the Pinterest ad strategy, was not done correctly, right? So currently right now, I have a new, Pinterest ad client, and then we've not started. We've worked 2 weeks now. We've not placed any ad. We're still running, the background of, everything on your blog has to be great. You have to have blog posts, right, that would connect with people, right, when it comes to what you're selling. Okay, so she is an employee engagement expert, right? So never had any blog posts. So the first things that we're doing, we're creating blog posts that would, offer value and help people understand how to better engage their employees, right? And within your blog post, you need to have, things to attract people. You need to have calls to actions. You need to have sign-up forms in case people land on your blog post and, they want to quickly leave. You already have their email lists, okay? So you continue to follow up with them via a funnel, right? You have an email, you have interactions with them via emails, because as much as your website and your blog is yours, the traffic that comes in there are not yours until they join your funnel. Meaning that I find, I go on Pinterest to search for something, I find a blog, I read, I leave. You don't own me, as a traffic, as a page view. You just got a page view from me, right? That can be beneficial to you, but once I leave, what are the odds that I'm going to come back, right? I might, if I see something else that's valuable, but the way that you can attract me and keep me, maybe you have, a sign-up form or a freebie that further helps me answer my questions or help me solve my problems. I'm going to go ahead and drop my email list and get your stuff. So now you can continue to reach out to me via email, right? So if you have an ad campaign, you should also make provisions for, reaching out to people via emails as well, because people would land and they would leave. So you're going to be losing a lot of traffic and a lot of people that, would have converted. Okay, and Favor mentioned a lot of things about, your H1 tags and all of these things. People would come, and if your site and your website or your landing page is looking tacky, they would leave, right? Because people do not have that much time to spend, except that everything is looking good and ready for them, okay? Because there's lots of options out there. So Pinterest ads would work for you when you have a strategy. So a blog post would work, but not just any blog post. It has to be a blog post that is about the product that you're trying to sell, right? So it would inspire them. So maybe you want to say, what are the best places, to go to that you would need to wear a scarf? What are the best scarf textile designs or whatever, things that would inspire people, and put pictures of people wearing these things. And then also, for yours, you would have to, have like more fun type of blog post where maybe you want to do a challenge, maybe you want to do a quiz to ask people, so what's the best combination, for you to wear with this scarf? Things that would be interesting for people to want to stick around or leave their emails with you. And then when people drop their emails with you, for example, you can then send them an email. This would be in a sequence, already automated. You don't have to go on and start doing emails. You're going to send an email to them with a discount of the same products that they've already seen on your blog, right? There's a high chance that they're going to take action and, make a purchase. Okay, that's what Amazon does. All right, when I land on Amazon, they constantly send me emails when there's discounts for stuff, and that's how they get sales, okay? Because they know that all the traffic that goes there are not theirs, but they have your email. So constantly when there's a discount, they let you know. Okay, so go ahead and speak with your ad manager and let them explain to you what the ad strategy they had, for your ad campaign. Okay, so that they should help you understand. And if they did not have a strategy, they should go ahead and create one, okay? And they should let you know what they're doing. So they're supposed to take you along all the way up until your ad starts to run and until it finishes, okay? It's not just to send traffic to a landing page and leave it there. You don't expect people to, land on your get to your landing page and take action. You have to help them take action. So I'm Chioma and I'm done speaking.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chioma, for bringing this up. Yeah, you definitely brought it through, and I'm glad that you're able to put this out. I really appreciate that. I would say this as well, Miriam, just quickly. It shows me that you use Shopify. I just want to be sure if I'm seeing the right thing. Is that what you use?
Yes, I use a Shopify premium theme. The theme that I used was newly released at the time that I used it. I thought it looked very, visually pleasing for my brand.
Okay.
So maybe you have some other suggestion.
No, it's actually, I'm not actually trying to make you jump from Shopify. I was actually trying to see if you have actually connected your Shopify to Pinterest. Have you claimed your Shopify account to Pinterest?
I've linked the website, but I'm not sure what you mean by claimed the Shopify.
Okay, so if you go to your settings, there's a section that says claimed accounts. So like earlier I was talking about how you can claim your YouTube, you can claim your Instagram, you can claim those products pretty much, I'll call them just digitally. So you can claim YouTube, you can claim Instagram, you can claim your Etsy, you can claim your website. So you can claim your website, but on top of claiming your website, because it shows me that you've put your website on your profile, which is great. But if you claim your Shopify, your product is gonna now have a catalog on Pinterest, because actually I think Shopify and Pinterest, they have a partnership or some sort, whereby that they are the only platforms. You can use other platforms to update your catalog, but Shopify is the only platform that allows you to connect your shop externally and automatically update your catalog to your Pinterest, which is gonna allow people to shop from Pinterest. And if you have your catalog like I see you do on your website, once you claim your Pinterest business account to your Shopify and you have your catalog connected, your shop is going to show up first before it has your created pins. And that's one way you can be able to drive traffic. And I don't know why they didn't tell you this on Pinterest, just like Chioma said, because these are things that they should have asked you as far as what you're using. Because I actually spoke with a representative from Pinterest, and I'm going to be speaking with her again on Wednesday. This is for a client. We're trying to see how we can be able to put their account in order. And I got some questions that she asked, and I could tell, okay, she actually cares about this person's account, because we didn't reach out, they reached out to us, just like they reached out to you. So I think there's a huge gap in that optimization process, which you can easily be able to fix. This is not it's not like critical problem. It's something you can just optimize, fix, and then rewire so that you can be able to have the best account possible for your business, because you have amazing content. It's just a matter of putting this content out there. One of your products has like 7 images. You can have all those 7 images as idea pins. And if you have your idea pin connected, not your idea pin, your shop connected, then that means that you can be able to actually tag your product, tag your shop, tag that specific item to your idea pin, and that's going to allow people to shop. So that's one thing I would definitely want to let you know on. But you're doing an amazing job nonetheless with what you're doing for, you know, the community. And I just love the scarf. It just really stands out. So I hope I can be able to help you more on, you know, pushing this to the next level. But at the same time, I hope this was able to give you some clarity so that you don't give up on the platform.
This is Kamala K. I just wanted to chime in really quickly. So I don't know if it's just, excuse me, I don't know if it's just my page is having an error right now, but I went to your page, to your website, and I'm clicking on your icons for Pinterest, and it's telling me page not found. Did that work for anyone else? I'm just checking just in case it's not working. That way you know to go and update your website.
Yeah, I actually tried it too. I wasn't able to go to the Pinterest page itself.
Okay.
Yeah, because it shows me.
And the same thing happened on Instagram. When I clicked the Instagram logo, it didn't work as well. So I thought maybe it was just me.
No, I think you're right, Kamala. I think I need to fix that. And thank you for pointing that out. You guys are pointing out a lot of things that I need to check. And yeah, I'm taking notes. I appreciate all of it.
You're welcome.
You're most welcome. That's why we're here. We're here to help you and help you scale forward so that you can have better clarity and, you know, optimize your content for good, because this is content that's going to last a long time. So I'm glad that you guys have all been able to be here and, you know, just share the information and just stay connected. Since we started this room, we've had a total of about 60 listeners. Someone just came into the room right now. I see Yesenia. I see you. Thank you so much for joining. We've been here for about 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 24 seconds. So it's been really exciting to just have this communication and just learn from each other and see how we can be able to go. Before I say what I need to say before we close, I know, Colin, you had something to say, so I want to give the floor to you so that you can let us know.
No, I'm not going to hold you up. I just wanted to tell you, you know, it was so great being in this room with you, and just, you know, I've never been a Pinterest person, and to kind of pass it on to my VA, but it was something that I wanted to learn and really understand, because I always feel like if you don't know, you know, these types of platforms, you know, somebody's just going to give you a subpar job, and that's what I actually have to get. So, you know, I took it upon myself now to really come in here and understand this and, you know, see the things. So this is definitely something that I'm wanting to be a part of and continuously learning, and just, you know, definitely follow here around Favor for with these classes, and, you know, the knowledge that you do have, and just even learning how you are helping, how you say it, Maryam, sorry. And just, you know, it just brings so much value to everybody else as well. So just want to thank you so much. And, you know, I'm not going to hold them up any much longer.
No problem. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your kind words today. And I just value, you know, being here and connecting with each and every one of you, because this is how we get to connect. This is how we get to grow. And I just appreciate the feedback so that, you know, next time we show up in this room, we can definitely be able to have this. And guys, if you're on stage, just, you know, clap your mics real quickly if you guys want me to bring this topic back again, because this is the first time I've actually talked about this here. Okay, wow, I see that. Wow. And that's great. Thank you so much for letting me know. And if you're in the audience, I've opened up the hand raising. I won't bring you up, just wanted to be sure, because I know we've been all in the room. If you want us to bring this topic again, just show by, before I even said it. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we are coming back again. Okay. Thank you all so much for letting me know. I really appreciate you, because sometimes we're not sure if this thing is actually making sense or if we're helping, but this tells me that we are helping, and I really appreciate you all for letting me know about this. So yes, with that said, guys, make sure if you're not following this club, you can follow this club right now. And once you follow this club, you can be able to learn more about how to use Pinterest for your business, how you can be able to grow. And we're going to bring this topic again, just due to popular demand. I'll definitely bring this back. And if your hand is still raised, I'll bring you up on stage, because I know everybody was going to close off their hands, but I can see some hands. Okay, they're all down. So that just tells me that we're all good to go. Thank you so much. I wanted to be sure. I didn't want to restrict anybody, but yeah, because of this, we're gonna definitely come back again. And in case you're just joining us, this is all available to you in the Pinterest and SEO Marketing Facebook group. How you can find this is by clicking the link in my bio, either on Instagram or Twitter, at the bottom of my Clubhouse profile. When you click on it, you'll be able to now access and see all the things that are available to you. We have a podcast, We Don't Play podcast available. I also had an amazing show. I know I featured Chioma and I also featured Kamala K in the episode. So if you guys want to hear what they do in their expertise, check them out in the podcast as well, so you can be able to tap into those episodes. Make sure you're able to follow us and just stay connected, because we have so much to give you. And like I said earlier, the course, the Pinterest marketing course, is only available to the members after the 31st. So if you want to grab it right now and it's publicly available, click the same link in my bio and it's going to be the very first option that you see. And that's going to be able to give you access to what we're doing, so that you can be able to learn how to grow your business, because all this information we're giving you here is great. But it's even greater when we see you actually take those actionable strategies and turn them into results. We've seen results and we keep seeing results, and I'm excited to see those results from you as well. So with that said, guys, my name is Favor Obas-Ike, and I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia. Having a digital marketing agency that I've been able to help small to mid-sized businesses understand the value of search by using it for optimizing and ranking and building their persona, building their brand, and helping them with everything that they need to do from website all the way into SEO. So I'm glad you guys were all able to be here and connect with us. I'll definitely be here again tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, talking about digital marketing ABCs for entrepreneurs. I know Pinterest is there, but I wanted to take it to digital marketing because I had this on my board. I think it was sometime last year that I wanted to actually do this ABC, but I didn't know when I was going to do it. So I was like, you know what? Now is the time to do it. So I really appreciate you all for being here and connecting with me. I see Cherry, China, Pamela, Patrice, Favor, another Favor. I see you there. That's actually the first time I've seen somebody else called Favor on this platform. So it's a pleasure to see you here, Favor, Chandra, Sammy, Judy, Ndaya, Julie, Chloe, Hope, Gisette, Aisha, A, and Lucas. Welcome, A, to Clubhouse. So guys, thank you all so much for being here. I'm about to close up the room. Wishing you guys an amazing, amazing evening, and stick with us. I'll catch you guys in the Clubhouse streets, and I'll definitely be connecting with you all very soon. Thanks again, Adetola, Chioma, Kamala K, and Marianne for joining me on stage today. You guys are amazing.
See you later.
Thank you so much. Good night. Stay blessed.
See you later.
See you later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.